Ako po si Congressman Jil Bongalon ng Ako Bicol Party List at kasama niyo po ako ngayon sa Young Guns on the Move Typhoon Kristine Special. Mga taga-barangay Buhatan, yaong kita digdi para sa sarong relief operations. Hatod po ni Congressman Atty. Jil Bongalon, sa tabang man po ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez, asin kan Ako Bicol Party List, and of course in coordination with the local government unit of Santo Domingo Albay, headed by Mayor June Aguas. Yaw man po digdi si Kagawad Lyra Gregorio, palakpakan tatabi.
Nung nag-umpisa po yung malakas na hangin at saka yung ulan, talagang nag-overflow yung tubig galing sa taas. Yung bahay dito sa likuran, talagang binaha po yung pilasok yung mga bahay namin ng tubig. Tsaka yung bahay namin talagang naalis yung isang bubong, pero okay lang yun at wala naman po na disgrasya.
Dahil na po ako magpaparahaloy, taaram ko mainit na. We just want to distribute these relief goods. Ano po? So sa Indo, ini po tabi karagdagang pangkonsumo nindo. Igwadigdiki kape kung pwede pakihoron, pakidit-diiton, tangani day pagparanervyoson. Ayo? So sa Giraray, good morning and have a blessed Sunday po sa Gabos. Dahil na po pagparahalo yun, ini po hali sa DSWD. Ano ba kung man po inihali sa kuya? Pero kami po so nag-coordinar sa Department of Social Welfare and Development para magkigutabi kamo ning alokasyon na food packs hali sa DSWD. Dito po sa episode ng Young Guns on the Move, wala muna tayong bibisitahin ng mga lugar, wala munang ifea-feature na mga pagkain or anuman na mga tourism spot sapagkat ang atin pong gagawin ngayon ay ikikwento kung ano yung naging epekto ng bagyong Kristine, lalong-lalo na dito po sa Bicol region. As early as October 23 of 2024, ang opisina po ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa opisina ng Ako Bicol Party List ay patuloy po ang koordinasyon upang magsagawa ng mga relief operations dito po sa Kabicolan. Ang opisina po ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez facilitated the request of 390 million pesos in cash assistance to be distributed po sa 22 district representatives, kasama na rin po ang mga party list representatives sa Kabicolan, Calabarzon, Mimaropa at Eastern Visayas. Sa kabuuan, 411 million pesos ang naibigay na agarang asistensya pinansyal para po sa ating mga kababayan. At dito po ipinapakita ang mabilisang aksyon at agarang pagresponde ng ating pong House of Representatives sa pamumuno po ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Ayon po sa ating mahal na kalihim ng DSWD na si Secretary Rex Gatchalian, bago pa man po tumama ang bagyong Kristine dito sa Kabicolan at sa ibang parte ng ating bansa, meron na pong nakapreposition na 170,000 na family food packs dito po sa Bicol region at 2 million family food packs sa kabuuan ng bansa. Ako po bilang isang taga Tabaco City, nakita ko po at naranasan ko yung naging epekto at naging dulot nitong severe tropical storm Kristine. At ako po sa ngalan ng Ako Bicol Party List at on behalf of the Bicolano people, nagpapasalamat po kami kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr., pati na rin po kay House Speaker Martin Romualdez sa agarang pagresponde sa pangangailangan ng aking pong mga kababayang Bicolano, lalong-lalo na po yung mga relief goods, pati na rin po yung mga rubber boats, pati na rin po yung mga cash assistance na ibinaba sa iba-ibang distrito dito po sa buong Kabicolan. Malaking tulong po ito sa aming pong pagbangon dala ng epekto ng bagyong Kristine. Taos-puso pong pasasalamat ang aming pong ibinibigay sa ating pong administrasyon dahil sa tulong po na ibinigay po ninyo. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I rise today with a heavy heart, but with a spirit of resilience to speak on the recent devastation brought upon by Typhoon Kristine in the Bicol region few weeks ago. The winds of this typhoon were fierce, and the volume of rain are relentless, but the strength of our people, as always, remain unshaken. On October 21 to 25, 2024, severe tropical storm Kristine brought torrential rains and violent winds, triggering flash floods and landslides in most parts of the country, with the Bicol region bearing the brunt. Kristine dumped more than 2 months' worth of rainfall in the region in just 24 hours, causing an unprecedented disaster that trapped thousands of residents in floodwaters and lahar flow, paralyzed the region's main thoroughfares that isolated communities for days, and damaged or destroyed several roads and bridges. Typhoon Kristine came with such force, leaving in its wake damaged homes, flooded fields, and displaced families. It tested not just our infrastructure, but the very core of our communities. Barangays across the provinces of Albay, Sorsogon, and Camarines Sur were among the hardest hit, with thousands of families forced to leave behind everything they hold dear. The typhoon has been a harsh reminder of the vulnerability of our region, a region that has seen its fair share of natural calamities, yet has never wavered in its will to recover. According to the situational report of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, last October 28, 2024, a total of 6,717,755 individuals, or 1,662,416 families were affected by Kristine. As of October 30 of 2024, a total of 145 people were reportedly killed due to the storm, 46 of which are in the Bicol region. Meanwhile, 115 people were injured and 37 people were still reportedly missing. In the October 31, 2024 bulletin of the Department of Agriculture, the agricultural sector sustained an estimated 4.85 billion damage because of severe tropical storm Kristine. As of October 28, 2024, the Department of Agriculture, Region 5 Bicol, has reported more than 2.1 billion in initial damage to the agricultural sector, broken down per province as follows. Province of Camarines Sur, 1.27 billion. Province of Albay, 403 million. Masbate Province, 264 million. Camarines Norte, 226 million. Province of Sorsogon, 108 million. And the province of Catanduanes, 70.98 million. Mr. Speaker, many farmers and fishermen were likewise severely affected by Typhoon Kristine. According to the Office of Civil Defense Bicol, the estimated infrastructure damage amounted to 855 million. This included damage to covered courts, multi-purpose buildings, bridges, public markets, schools, evacuation centers, health facilities, and roads. Although compared to the previous years, the number of typhoons that have hit the country has decreased. We have been experiencing unprecedented wind speeds and rainfalls with devastating impacts across the country that is attributable to climate change. While we acknowledge, but certainly not, glorify the notion of Filipino resiliency during these times, we are being called to step up and help our constituents not only to recover from the devastation brought about by Kristine, but more importantly, to reassess how we can change and improve our existing policies and processes so that Bicol region and other parts of the country can be more prepared for similar occurrences in the future. But amid this storm, Mr. Speaker, we saw once again the Filipino spirit of bayanihan. that spirited force that brings us together in times of crisis. I stand before you today to share not only the struggles, but also the stories of hope that have emerged from this devastation. First, let me extend our deepest gratitude to our Speaker, the Honorable Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, for his swift response and assistance in bringing the much-needed relief packs to thousands of families affected by Typhoon Kristine. Aside from the relief goods, the Office of the Honorable House Speaker, in coordination with the Office of the Honorable Elizaldico of Ako Bicol Party List, responded in bringing the provision of rubber boats, blankets, modular tents, outboard motors, and other water rescue equipment. With this, his leadership and compassion have been a beacon of hope for our kababayans, and for that, we are very thankful. His actions demonstrate that in times of adversity, we can rely on each other to bring about the support and aid our people deserve. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to His Excellency President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. for his swift and compassionate response in the wake of Typhoon Kristine. Aside from his orders to immediately respond to the needs of our people, the President's directive to the Energy Regulatory Commission, leading to the suspension of electricity disconnections and the implementation of flexible payment schemes in affected areas, has brought much-needed relief to thousands of families across the Bicol region and other calamity-stricken areas. This decisive action underscores his commitment to easing the burdens on our kababayans as they work towards recovery, and we are deeply grateful for his leadership and support during this difficult time. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. Thank you for your unwavering dedication to the welfare of the Filipino people. Lastly, amidst the turmoil, Mr. Speaker, and equally as important, let me also wholeheartedly acknowledge the tireless work of our local government units, first responders, private sectors, national government, non-government organizations, and volunteers who braved the elements to ensure that help was delivered to the most vulnerable. Their dedication has made it clear that the heart of our Bicolano communities beats stronger than any typhoon. Nevertheless, as we continue to rebuild from the devastation of Typhoon Kristine, there is hope on the horizon in the form of the Ligtas Pinoy Centers Act, a landmark bill that is expected to be signed into law by President Marcos Jr. soon. This legislation, championed by our Speaker, aims to establish a network of permanent, storm-resilient evacuation centers across the country. These centers will serve as a safe haven for millions of Filipinos facing increasingly severe climate-related disasters. Mr. Speaker, the tireless advocacy for this measure, along with the support of President Marcos, reflects our shared commitment to ensuring that no Filipino is left vulnerable in times of calamity. Let us continue to push for a future where our communities are equipped to withstand the growing challenges of climate change. Once again, thank you, Speaker Martin Romualdez, for your leadership in this critical endeavor. Yet, as we gather here, let us not forget that our work is far from over. There are still thousands of families who need long-term solutions, sustainable rehabilitation, reconstruction of schools, and support for our farmers and fishermen whose livelihoods have severely affected. These people are the backbone of our economy, and they must not be left behind in the recovery process. It is important to note also that it is undeniable that no flood control system, no matter how advanced, can fully prevent or lessen the impact of a storm that brings such an immense and prolonged downpour. When a storm stalls over a region for more than 24 hours, saturating the land with torrential rain, it exceeds the capacity of any human-made infrastructure to contain or redirect the volume of water. The sheer amount of rainfall, like Typhoon Kristine, unleashed in just a single day, was beyond the limits of what any engineered solution could manage. This reality highlights the need for broader disaster preparedness, including early warning systems, resilient community planning, and climate change mitigation efforts to safeguard our people in the face of increasingly severe weather events. Unfortunately and admittedly, severe tropical storm Kristine, which caused unprecedented violent weather conditions over the Bicol region and other parts of the country, have exposed critical gaps in disaster preparedness and response system. In line with this, I would like to invite the attention of my colleagues to consider the pending bills. It is high time to prioritize the passage of the following bills that will certainly supplement and strengthen the existing policies or processes of both the national and local government in our country. House Bill number 08350 and House Bill number 10422, an act amending certain provisions of Republic Act number 10121 to strengthen the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management System. These bills seek to strengthen our country's disaster response by refining the organizational structure of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council system, making it more resilient and capable of immediate action. This bill also introduces improvements to the existing management system, which will enhance its ability to anticipate, respond to, and mitigate the effects of severe weather disturbances such as Typhoon Kristine. House Bill number 08463, an act providing for the establishment and construction of disaster food banks and stockpiles in every province and highly urbanized city in the Philippines and appropriating funds therefor. During Typhoon Kristine, many regions were cut off from food and essential supplies due to blocked roads. By implementing this bill, we ensure a strategic reserve of food and necessities which are always available to the most vulnerable communities. Mr. Speaker, our region has always been resilient. We have rebuilt time and again from the ashes of calamity. But it is in times like this that we must not only rebuild what was lost, but also prepare for what is yet to come. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is our present reality. The onslaught of Typhoon Kristine is a stark reminder that we must continue to push for stronger, more comprehensive disaster preparedness programs and more sustainable infrastructure that can withstand the increasing frequency and intensity of this natural disaster. I therefore call upon my fellow legislators to unite in strengthening our efforts to provide assistance and recovery for those affected by this typhoon and to ensure that in the future, our people will be safer, stronger, and more prepared. Let us commit to providing the necessary funding resources, and legislation that will secure a better future for our communities. Mr. Speaker, with the guidance of this leadership and the collective effort of this House, I believe we can turn the trials brought by Typhoon Kristine into an opportunity to build a more resilient, prosperous, and a hopeful Bicol region. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang mga Bicolano.